Thank you once again for joining me on today's journey towards resilience. We're already there. We just want to build on our best resilience of yesterday and into today's best resilience right now. What I'm offering to you today in all these different episodes, I do want to change your life with a new perspective. But I can't guarantee changing your life today. But I can guarantee you that this episode will change your perspective on this very present moment. Today's topic is called linear angles. Linear angles. Now, I say that to begin a discussion about presence. Continue discussion on beauty, on resilience. If you've been with me for a while in these 820 episodes, about 2 or 3 times ago, I mentioned that term called parallax. Parallax. That's a description about how you're looking at one thing, but moving your perspective left or right, up or down, and getting a different perspective on that same thing, you get a parallax view on that same object. It hasn't changed, but your perception of it has changed. That's called parallax. Now, I mention that because although I am somewhat educated in the engineering discipline, a little bit in my other discipline of being an operations research and systems analyst, but I must point out that there's a gentleman who taught at the Colorado School of Mines, Dr. Gene Woolsey. That man taught me how to be an ORSA, an operations research systems analyst. Dr. Gene Woolsey. Now, he taught me, and many people in the same class, but I resonated with this man, how he described how to become an ORSA, to become process and model oriented. And he taught me that great discipline to develop, to continue to discover, and to continue to apply in all walks of life. And that's probably where that training from Mr. Woolsey, and this is like, 4 or 5 decades ago, when I learned this from him. That teaching from him was probably where I got the resilience, the beauty of presence tagline from. If you have a look at the book, it says resilience, the beauty of presence, and tagline says process models for life. Now, models can be good, but those are not the one all, end all, be all answer to any problem. There's another gentleman that we're going to mention here now, Mr. George Box, a British statistician. He also knows and taught and was quite well known about process and models. And he pointed out the critical aspect of even the most robust, elaborate, and solid models to be produced. He would tell you, all models are wrong, yet maybe most of them can be useful. I think that also goes to the overall intent of my book, the podcast, and my presentations to you. Maybe what I'm saying to you is wrong. All these previous episodes and this one today, it could be wrong, but I hope in some small way it's useful and relevant to you. So, what I deliver to you may in fact or in relation to be just that, possibly wrong or hopefully useful. But back to the topic for today, linear angles. As I mentioned about Dr. Woolsey, who taught me about process and modeling, operations, and research. Even though what you may develop or produce from the creation all around us. To really, really know a process, Mr. Woolsey told me, or Dr. Woolsey told me, you have to outline, define, refine, and walk through each and every part of the process you are developing. There's no bystanding or grandstanding in developing and working a process. You got to be in it. Or, as I heard a golf commentator say, I believe this came from his name is Mr. Colt Knost and Drew the Sleaze on Subpar. It's a great episodes that they have out there on golf, perspectives and things happening in the golf world. But those two guys will say this thing. I say get in it. They talk about get amongst it. I like that. But in committing to your evolving understanding and perspectives, you can use different and linear angles for a fuller picture that itself is still evolving and developing right before you. This can happen from a stationary position. It, you, life, the problems, the situation, the weather, all ever changing. You must move your perspective to know and learn and grow to your best possibility in each day, in each moment. That's what I'm trying to relate to you from my humble perspectives and experiences in our short 6 decades of life on this planet. I'm only offering to you, really, call a parallax nudge over here to look at this problem or this situation or this thing called life or this thing we all have called love in a different way. Be part of that process. We don't create it. I didn't create me. You didn't create you. We didn't create us. Yet, here we are together in this quasi-conversation of me relaying to you what I've seen. And I'm hoping that you will take that initiative or share with me your perspective. There's no comparison here. There's no competition here. I'm asking you to take this moment, this very, very moment in front of us, and work it. Feel it. Get in it. Get amongst it. And then develop that perspective that not from what it was, not from what it can be, what it is right now for you, to take that little nugget of wisdom that you're getting from this interaction and move it forward. Move forward into understanding and then be able to communicate your angle on this best moment today. As always, stay current, stay present. You know what time it is. It's always 8:20.